was a kid, my parents used to take my brother and I to places like this when we were on holiday in Central Otago. And I'd like to think that I could take my kids to places like this in the future. But these places won't always be around. That is, unless we look after them. So let's meet the people into it and see what it's all about.
This building really fell apart when the neighbouring farmer took the iron off the roof to build hay barns down at his property. Once the iron is taken off this type of building, it very rapidly deteriorates. If you'd have said to somebody this building had people living in it 50 years ago, you just couldn't believe it, could you?
As you can see, it's all pretty rough and ready now, and we're going to get it not restored, but just stabilised so it doesn't fall down anymore. It's not a difficult procedure, but it is a procedure that you need to stick to the same rules. You can't slap them up. We're just putting this rock in here, and what I'd do now is I just feel under there with my hand, and there's an appropriate prop. We just prop that now.
Yeah.
So, and what that does is it tightens it down at the front. You want to have a...
Can I?
You can have a go yourself, yes?
Okay.
You want that face going right and not what we call undercutting.
Okay.
And then you need to bring it with your eye to the front here.
Yep. Oh, okay, so level in the front with that one.
Yes, and then just prop it under there like that. And see, that makes it nice and steady. I'm just using soil. To give this a wee bit of firmness, I put in a traditional lime putty that we make up on site. The soil isn't the glue, it's a caulking that blocks up all the holes so the wind doesn't go through and the mice and birds don't get in.
I think it was that room there was a drunk's room, eh? So when the miners had too much to drink, they put them in that room to sleep it off. Maybe they spilt the gold on the floor and it went down through the cracks, and it's probably in the soil there. So I think that you and I should get a couple of pans and do a bit of panning this afternoon, and we'd probably find quite a bit of gold. My eldest brother, he arrived here, he was so cold and so frozen, and he was only a little boy of 5 or 6 years old. Mrs. Cormack, who ran the boarding house here, popped him in the oven for about 10 minutes to thaw him out before she sent him on down to the school.
The Lindis Hotel will never be fully restored, but it's still a valuable story in this landscape. And with characters like Gerald and Keith telling this story, they're helping keep it alive.